Have you ever wondered how different countries address drug use? Here's a glimpse of what drug policies look like around the world. Most of Oceania still relies on a criminal justice-based approach in tackling drug use and supply reduction. In Australia and New Zealand, however, drug policy is based on harm reduction and a public health approach. New Zealand is currently piloting drug courts, which provides an alternative to imprisonment, with participants working through a 1 to 2 year treatment program instead. Countries in Asia typically have strict and zero-tolerance policies, with the goal of trying to pursue a drug-free world. As of 2019, 5 countries have corporal punishment, 9 countries have mandatory registration, 10 countries have compulsory rehabilitation, and 16 countries have the death penalty as part of their drug policies. China has taken a police rather than public health approach, and if caught in possession of drugs, individuals can face up to 6 years of compulsory detox and rehabilitation. Due to the vulnerability of the Middle East and North Africa region to drug trafficking, the punishments for drug involvement are quite severe. However, drug policies have still focused most of their efforts on the criminalization of drug possession and use. In this region, 13 countries retain the death penalty and 6 countries make use of corporal punishment. Unlike other countries with the death penalty, Iran routinely carries out executions over drug offenses. Since 1979, Iran has executed over 10,000 people for drug crimes. Although most drugs are illegal in Africa, there is inconsistency in how they are policed and controlled. As of 2019, the traditionally prohibitionist region has started moving towards liberalization, with 11 states loosening or considering loosening their drug policies. In 2018, South Africa was the first and only country in this region to decriminalize cannabis for personal use and cultivation. Europe has generally progressive drug laws with an inclination to lean towards treatment rather than criminal punishment for drug use and possession. Several countries in this region have already decriminalized drugs for personal use. In 2001, Portugal became the first country in the world to decriminalize the personal use of all drugs. As such, although drug possession is no longer a criminal offense, it is still an administrative violation that can be punished by smaller penalties like fines. Central and South America have harsh drug laws that have only increased in severity in recent years. However, this region lacks proportionality in sentencing for drug-related offenses, with a blurred distinction between the possession of drugs for personal use versus trafficking. In 2017, Uruguay was the first country in the world to carry out a legally regulated market for both the production and supply of cannabis for non-medical personal use. North America's drug policies are shaped by the war on drugs. As such, countries in this region have typically used an aggressive, law enforcement-based approach. However, in recent years, there has been an increase in the decriminalization of cannabis. The United States' reliance on criminal penalties and use of mandatory minimum sentences for drug offenses has led to mass incarceration. As you can see, drug policies around the world vary from region to region. Some countries have completely decriminalized, while others still enact the death penalty. It is hoped that in upcoming years, policymakers will use these examples to develop necessary drug policy reforms to reduce harm and ensure the health and safety of all people.